Or start.
Good morning to everybody. How you doing? Hope all is well. Keep up the beautiful work. Good things always. Be'ezrat Hashem yitbarach v'yitromam. Today is Wednesday. I don't know if anyone wants ice cream, buy one, get one free, but yalla, maybe they have hot chocolate also. You can buy one, get one free. Today, the snowman picked up, went on a plane, and went straight to Florida to warm up. It's too cold for them. We weren't that cold in the shul because we went into the fridge to warm up. How you doing? God should be with everyone. Inshallah, beracha v'atzlaha. Just be safe and healthy and good things always. Be'ezrat Hashem. Sometimes when we complain, we think of the hostages. Hashem should bring them home soon, and the soldiers. All of the complaining we have doesn't compare to what they go through in 1 minute. Imagine for 500 days already, Shema Israel, and Hashem's going to bring the Mashiach, and He will give punishment to all those that deserve it. Watch and see, Be'ezrat Hashem, and He will make us happy in contrast to all the Wejaras that we went through over the years. Be'ezrat Hashem Yitbarach. We are continuing the laws of taking a break in the Amidah. Is a person allowed to talk? No. Can a person make a remez? Could you make a sign with your hands or your body or something to communicate with someone? Obviously, you can't do that, but there are times that if a person has to, you're not allowed to talk in the middle of the Amidah, but you're allowed to make a remez, make a sign, a motion, etc. For example, we know in the synagogues, they wait for the Chacham to finish the Amidah before they go and they say the Hazara. Let's say the rabbi is taking his time. He has to pray for everyone in the synagogue. He has to pray for everyone, Baruch Hashem, and he's taking his time, but they're waiting for him. He doesn't want them to wait for him. So what does he do? He makes now, technically, you're not allowed to make a sign and a symbol for them to start the Hazara. However, since now he can't concentrate because he knows he's under pressure, also because once it's too quiet for too long in synagogue, of course, our synagogue, no, but there are synagogues in Wisconsin where the people start to talk, and once the talking starts, you got to get the Hazara rolling to stop the people from talking, and therefore the rabbi is allowed to make that sign, that symbol for the fellow to start the Hazara. If this halacha is known, but it's not really practiced, Baruch Hashem, I think the reason is because people go to classes like all of you, they listen to the rabbi, they listen to the books, and therefore they're learned enough. But the halacha says, what if someone's in the middle of Amidah and he has a question he doesn't know what to do. He skipped Ya'alev Yavo. He said Morid Hatal. Oh boy, do we miss Morid Hatal. We really could do, but we really need Mehayam Etim even more than Morid Hatal. Be'ezrat Hashem Yitbarach. But if he doesn't know the law and he wants to go to a book to look inside, even though he's in the middle of Amidah, the halacha says yes. If really needed, there is what to rely on. Most people don't allow it, but there is what to rely on halachically. However, he's not allowed to ask anyone if he's in the Amidah, at least with his mouth. If he just points and he says, shows Ya'alev Yavo, go back or not, then he can do that. However, with talking, obviously not, but he could go over to a book and ask permission, look inside the book for the halacha to see if he should go back or not. Now, if a person takes a break in the middle of the Amidah, there are times that a person might have to also, just like we said now, if he has to go ask look inside a book for the question, or let's say all of a sudden someone gets an emergency facility, etc., restroom, whatever it might be, we will do those halachot be'ezrat Hashem. But now he comes back and he wants to start where he left off. Can a person who had to stop and pause his Amidah for whatever reason it was, and can he continue where he left off? And the answer is, survey says, depends, just like every other halacha. If he took a break for as long as the Amidah takes him, not the Amidah takes other people. Some people, as we said, they pray faster than the roadrunner. Heck yeah. They like we said, you start Hashem Sevatai Tiftach, and they're already screaming Ya'alev Yavo, right? To remind the people, like we mentioned yesterday. So now, if a person took a break by his own pace, let's say it takes him 6 minutes for the Amidah, and in the middle, for whatever reason it was, he took a break for 6 minutes. Halachically, he has to go to the beginning of the Amidah because he took a break so long that he could have finished the whole thing. But if he took a break for less in a permissible manner, then he continues from where he left off. What if he didn't know that halacha and he just finished and continued from where he left off? The halacha says if he did it already, he does not have to repeat the whole Amidah because he didn't know better and he finished and there's what to rely on. But if he did know, he does know the halacha and he took longer than the Amidah takes him, then the rule is, as mentioned, he has to go to the beginning of the Amidah. There are times that people forget to turn off their ringers on the phone. And sometimes a synagogue could sound like a whole Beethoven orchestra performance. You have this guy, dun, 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 over here, he's and right? But let's say you have a guy, is he allowed to turn off his ringer in middle? And the answer is, of course. It's disturbing the whole shul. It's disturbing him. He can't pray because he knows they're going to call Guido on him if it rings again. So you are allowed to, if very necessary, in middle of the Amidah. Of course, it's not recommended. There are some people, and I salute to them, that they leave their phone at home for tefillah. That's a big move. Nowadays, people are married to their phones. I'm speaking to myself as well, and people leave their phone at home for praying. That's something to really salute to. The rabbi has to keep looking at his phone. Maybe someone deposited something in the bank account, Hazi. Just kidding. Baruch Hashem, everyone has plenty, inshallah, always. But really, it would be recommended, of course, to leave the phone off. But if not, then at least the ringer off where it doesn't disturb other people. The next subject that the rabbi gets into is who is obligated to pray and who is patur from tefillah. So first of all, we know that we do believe in equality. However, when it comes to prayers, a woman does not have to pray 3 times a day like a man does. A man has to pray 3 times a day, but a woman does not. But now the question comes up, why does a woman have to pray at all? What's the question? Halachically, we know it says, "Uleovdo b'chol levavchem." You shall serve God with your heart. What is serving Hashem with your heart? That's tefillah. That sounds like to me a mitzvat aseh, a positive commandment. When we have a positive commandment that's bound by time, as we mentioned all the time, shofar, sukkah, lulav, women are exempt. And if they want to make the beracha, they're not allowed to. If they want to shake lulav without a beracha, ahlan sahlan. They want to sit in the sukkah without a beracha, ahlan sahlan. However, if they want to make the beracha the lulav, that is a sin according to Sephardic halacha. Ashkenaz, as we always mention, make the beracha, but Sephardic do not. It's a beracha levatala. Ashkenaz hold like Rabbeinu Tam. Sephardic hold like the Rambam that says absolutely not. So now, why are women obligated to pray at all if it's mitzvat aseh shahazman gerama, a positive commandment that is bound by time? The answer is it's not really bound by time. According to the Torah, you don't have to pray before 3 hours before Hatzot. That's what the rabbis instituted. And since there's no official time for praying from the Torah, from the Chachamim, yes, from the Torah. No, therefore, women are obligated because it's just a mitzvah taseh. It's not shahazman girama, it's not bound by time, and therefore women are obligated to pray, but they are not obligated to pray 3 prayers a day. They're obligated to pray 1 prayer a day. Now we know that women like to pray. God bless. They're always praying. They're saying Tehillim. They're saying Tefillah. Baruch Hashem. The women pray. Yishtabach Shemo. How beautiful they pray. Why is it that a woman has to only pray 1 and we have to pray 3? Well, a woman prays from the heart. Sometimes women out there, how come we can't wear tefillin, etc.? And one of the reasons are it's a good thing in a certain way because women, when they're already pray from the heart. Even if a man wants $10 million, it's hard for him to pray from his heart. He prays from his brain, and the Torah wants us ulovdo bechol levavchem, all right, with your heart, and therefore women already pray with their heart even more than a man. We learn out the laws of prayer from a woman, as mentioned the other day in the story of Hannah, Vatitbalel Hannah. Now, if a woman wants to pray 3 times a day, is she allowed to? Do we look at it like a beracha, a lulav, that a woman is not allowed to make the beracha? And the answer is a woman is allowed to say the other 2 amidas as well. She could pray all 3. There are women out there, God bless, that pray 1,000 times better than men. There are women that go to nets in the morning, every single morning for tefillah. Imagine. And then, of course, they pray shaharit, minha, and arbi. Now, why are they allowed to pray? If all they're obligated in is 1 prayer, why are they obligated to? Why are they allowed to pray the other 2? And the answer is because it's mercy, it's rahamim, and since it's rahamim, a woman is allowed to as well. It's all about God's mercy, and we are all his children. Men, women, and children are the children of Hashem. However, there are those that say when it comes to Musaf on Rosh Chodesh or Shabbat, women should not say that because that's not a matter of mercy. That's in lieu of the Korban Musaf that they brought in the Beit HaMikdash on Shabbat or Rosh Chodesh. And since it's not in lieu of Rahamim, of mercy, but rather just the Korban, then therefore some say women are not allowed to pray Musaf. But Hamadia says, especially nowadays, the women are more religious than the Dinya, Yishtabach Shemo, and the rabbi says a woman can, of course, say Musaf on Shabbat, on Rosh Chodesh, especially on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, where that is major mercy and not in place of the Korban Musaf on the holidays. Now, a question comes up, and we know there's a saying, if you're going to do it right. And that applies to the next halakha. If a woman only has to pray 1 prayer a day, and even if she decides to do a second one, yalla, I have time, I might as well. So she prayed Shaharit. Let's say now it was Rosh Chodesh. So she said Shaharit BTW. We don't say anyway a beracha and the Hallel and Rosh Chodesh. Ashkenaz do. But even on the holidays, a woman does not say a beracha in Hallel. If we're at a time when a man says full Hallel and we make beracha, a woman does not say the beracha. The only time a woman says a beracha for Hallel the entire year is the first night of Pesach. When we say Hallel, over there, it's a different kind of Hallel. That's what we call Pirsumei Nisa Hallel, and it's different than the other Hallels that we have throughout the entire year. Long story short, and if we're still in America, we hope not. We hope the Mashiach comes, but if we have 2 nights holiday this year, BTW, get ready. Number 1, as already many of us know, Purim is on a Friday. So the Grinches who do not like Purim are happy this year because we have to end it early. But like we said, if you want to go to Israel, to Yerushalayim, inshallah we all go. It's a 3-day Purim. How you doing? Purim Mishulash. Also, this year we have something interesting. Once again, Pesach falls out on Saturday night, which means we have to do the whole thing with the bread early in the morning, put the crumbs in the hammam, in the facility, and get rid of them or eat, because you can't have matzah that day, you can't have bread that day, but it's Shabbat, you have to have hamotzi, so everyone's gonna pray early and run home, and then come back for the rabbi speech later, B'ezrat Hashem. But anyway, back to our subject. A woman prayed Shaharit on Rosh Chodesh, and now Minha time comes, and she's worried about making dinner, getting the sarchiche, getting the this, getting the that. So now what happens? Minha, she prayed Minha, and she forgot Yalev Yavo. Some might say that since she only has to pray once a day, and she already prayed Shaharit, so now the Minha was sort of like a bonus. So if she didn't say Yalev Yavo, she doesn't have to go back. And with that being said, as mentioned above, Rabino Grande tells us if you're going to do it right, because she was doing minha, so she did not fulfill her minha because she forgot Yalev Yavo, so she should repeat the minha if she can. And of course, whenever we repeat a minha, where there are those that have the opinion where you don't have to repeat it, so it's better to say that if I'm obligated, I'm obligated, and if not, this should be a donation. What's the best nation? A donation, as everybody knows. It should be a tefillat nidava. So let's keep that in mind, for we have a Rosh Chodesh coming up this Shabbat already. Time flies when you're having fun. God should watch us all and give us barakah. But our amazing savings is already sending the mishloachs. The kids are already getting their mustaches on Amazon to dress up like the Pringles guy or whatever it might be. And then we're announcing Rosh Chodesh Adar this coming Shabbat, believe it or not. So it should come to us with Hayim Tovim Shalom. The next halacha the rabbi gets to, the next subject is Chinuch Kitanim Litbalel, educating the children to pray. Now, we mentioned certain halachot that you're allowed to do to teach a child. One of those things is when you teach a child a beracha and he might not get it, so we say Hashem's name in the beracha, Baruch Atah Amonai. We say the real word, not the sketch word. A lot of bar mitzvah kids, when we were kids at least, the rabbi would say Amonai or say Baruch Atah Hashem. So the kid gets up in the shul and he says Baruch Atah Hashem instead of saying Amonai, because that's what he practiced. So a child that's little, that you're still teaching them berachot, you can say Hashem's name in the beracha, because how else are you going to teach them? So therefore, there's a lot of things that we teach the children, Yishtabach Shemo. If you don't have the kid goat, then you don't have the adult goat, as it goes, meaning the children are the next generation, Be'ezrat Hashem Yitbarach. That's why we put all our energy into the children, Yishtabach Shemo. Long story short, is a child who's learning, he's already 11, he's 12, he's almost bar mitzvah. Should he pray 3 tefillot a day? And 100% he should. Not only Shaharit and Minha, but even Arbit. We know there's a concept in the Gemara, but it's misunderstood. The concept in the Gemara is that Arbit, there's an opinion that Arbit is Reshut, is not obligation, but if you want, you could say it. If you want, you don't have to say it. That is one opinion in the Gemara, but there's opinion that it's Chovah that you must say it. BTW, all of Am Yisrael took it upon themselves to hold like the opinion that it's Chovah, that it's a must. And also, just to clarify, even according to the rabbi who says reshut, that it's not an obligation to pray arbit, that's only if someone's in the middle of doing hesed and he's doing something for the community, and that mitzvah is going to pass. If there's an old lady that needs to be crossed across the street or whatever it might be, someone's in the hospital, hasva halila, and there's a mitzvah that no one else could do, and you can't push it off, then you don't have to pray arbit. But according to the opinion that says it's reshut, it's not a must, everyone agrees you can't just sit on your couch and sit there, of course, watching something kosher, but just say I don't want to pray. That's not so. Even according to the reshut, it's not really what people think. But nowadays, it is a chobah, and we should teach the children how to pray 3 times a day, shaharit, minha, and arbit. Let's say in school, kids are under bar mitzvah, they want to practice how to be hazan with chazara, with nakdishach. Are they allowed to? And the answer is absolutely not. Even though we do everything to teach the future generation, but they can't make a mock chazara, mock minyan, and do nakdishach and all of the above, because at the end of the day, you need 10 men. That's what we're teaching them, that you need 10 men in order to say the nakdishach and repeat the amidah. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And one more halacha that we speak about all the time, how much Hamav used to talk about it every opportunity he got, and that is to teach the children to say korbanot, which is for a disclaimer for the adults. Of course, all of you say the korbanot, but far away in Never Neverland, you have people that skip the korbanot in the morning. We're looking for parking. It's cold. It's this. It's that, and therefore they get the knis vaydaber Hashem Melech and Baruch She'amar. But really, the akedah is part of the tefillah. The ketoret is part of the akedah. It's part of the tefillah. Tavid b'nei Yisrael, v'amatalem korbani. There's a lot of crucial things you have to say in the morning. And Hamav was very into it. He said, who invented this new thing that we skipped the beginning of the korbanot? So a person should definitely try to say at least the more important parts. The akedah, when we say, Vayya hara Davidim ha'eleh, and then Tavid b'nei Yisrael, atahu, when we say the ketoret, Vayomer and Tanura Banan, a bunch of more Megamliel, etc. If a person wants to say less because he doesn't have time, then you can just say from Atahu till right after the big Tanura Banan, Pituma Ketora Ketzad. He doesn't have to say it a bunch of more Megamliel and Tanyale Minatan and Tanevar Kapara. He could skip that if time doesn't allow. But you got to see the major, you have to say the major chunks of the korbanot in the morning, and especially teaching the next generation. I hope everyone has the greatest day. Keep up the beautiful work. Good things always. We should have besorot tovot, yeshuot v'nahamot for the whole Am Yisrael. Bezrat Hashem. Amen. Have the best day. Take care. Bye.